When we get our test units, normally we get the top of the line, the most expensive, the most equipped variants. But we also realize that not everybody can afford or want the top equipped variants because, well, some people just don't need it or can't afford it. For example, a sunroof. Who needs a sunroof if you're going to be stuck in traffic in the Philippines? What you have to do is find the right balance of good looks and features so that out of every deal, you come out as a winner. So this time around, we've opted not to go for the over-the-top Wildtrak or the over-the-top Ranger Raptor. This is every man's Ranger, the 2020 FX4. Face to face with the FX4, you are greeted with this beautiful black mesh grille that we wish were standard across the line. It's not as brutish as, let's say, the Raptor, but it's not as plain as the other Wildtraks either. You've got halogen headlamps up here, fog lamps down here, a nice goatee found down here. Unfortunately, there are no DRLs on this model. One of those things that some people may want and may not want. If the whole point of your DRLs was to look good in somebody else's rear view mirror, don't worry, the grille's got that covered. Geez, that's as hot as its paint job, man. Under the hood, you're looking at a 2.2-liter turbo diesel mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission that produces 158 horses and 385 Newton-meters of torque. Now, this is not the 4x4 variant. In fact, there is no 4x4 variant for the FX4. This is just a 4x2. Now, on the highway, or rather in the city, decent traffic will get you about 12 kilometers per liter. That's decent traffic. Devil's bunghole traffic will get you about 9 kilometers per liter. On the highway, when it clears up, you're doing 19 kilometers per liter. So all in all, that's hot, but that's not bad. Hot! Moving on to the side of the FX4, you are looking at 232 millimeters of ground clearance, which is tall enough. But Ford says, as it does claim, this has a wading depth of 800 millimeters. Now, anybody, and I do mean anybody that lives in the Philippines knows that that is not a thank you. That's a, oh my God, thank you. Now, you've also got 18-inch blacked out wheels, which are specific only for the FX4. You've got step boards on a rather tall vehicle, blacked out side mirrors with repeaters, blacked out handles. This bed bar back here, I absolutely do enjoy, as much as the little bit of FX4 found down by the side. It's not too wild or anything. Think of it as caviar. Ooh, how refined. Just a little bit. Ooh, just a little bit, darling. Now, the rear is actually pretty plain. You got cinder block lights, a black colored bumper with sensors, a couple of decals, really nothing much. Now, when you open it up, you're looking at a bed that can carry over 1,120 kilos and a capacity of over 1,400 liters, which is a lot. Now, it is on leaf springs, so it's got enough power to carry its own weight. But if you overload the bed a little bit too much, you might overwork the engine. You know, like if you load it with, let's say, a redneck swimming pool. You all know what I'm talking about, right? All around the cabin, you get leather seats with red stitching. That's actually pretty cool. But even cooler are the carbon fiber-like prints that you can find on the seats, which is actually not bad. Now, the headroom and legroom is pretty much average. It's still, after all, a pickup truck. And the toys are nothing spectacular. You do have a center armrest with 2 cup holders, ball holders on either door, speakers, and more importantly, a wet finger dryer for those pesky backseat drivers. Up front, you've got everything that you really need, really. Well, maybe with a little bit of more gloss. You've got analog gauges that flank a digital trip computer. You've got a leather-wrapped steering wheel with a myriad of buttons on it. You got an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Does not have a reverse camera, but at the very least, it does have sensors. You've got your manual air controls found down there and a drifting lever found right here. Not necessarily the right thing to do when in a pickup truck. Now, it does not have a start-stop button, but it could be one of those features that you don't necessarily need. And at the very least, you'll always know where your keys are. Ay, samok. Earl, give me the keys, man! Come on, I ain't playing around! I'm calling his mother, that's it. I'm gonna call his mother. The Ford Ranger FX4 comes equipped with dual airbags, ABS with EBD, a volumetric burglar alarm system, and ISOFIX television. The FX4 drives like any other Ranger in the lineup, which is not necessarily a bad thing. However, it is a little bit down on power. See, the 2.2-liter is an older engine, but it still pulls its own weight, so to speak. In fact, it's a tried and tested engine because it's been around since the year 2000s and whatnot. point in fact, it's actually the engine that is found inside the Ford Transit. So really, if it's good enough for that guy, well, it's definitely good enough for this guy. Though it will take some time to pick up and maintain pretty good speed because, well, it is no Wildtrak or it is no Raptor. But I will give it this. It's much like the same as any other Wildtrak because the NVH inside this particular automobile is actually pretty darn good. The one thing I'll definitely give this pickup though is the light steering. The absolutely joyful light steering that you have whether you're cruising on the highway, either going through mud and rocks and whatnot, or stuck in traffic. This steering is not a problem. In fact, it makes you kind of miss traffic. No, I don't miss traffic. Jack, what are you talking about? Just because the steering wheel is like we're gonna hit traffic, you want to hit traffic? Do you want us to take 2 hours to get home? You saw the traffic on the way back already. The toll gate wasn't bad enough for you. Now you're gonna go looking for traffic. It's not as if we're not hungry. It's not as if we have to go to the banyo. But no, we have to go look for traffic because simply because you said traffic. You know, every once in a while it would be nice if you actually kept quiet and let me speak every once in a while. I'm the host. You're the camera person. Why can't we just rid of that relationship? No, you have to turn everything around, don't you? Let me be. So you've got looks, you've got features. The only thing missing is price, which is 1,316,000 Philippine pesos. Quite affordable for this car, and definitely a contender in our top 5 picks for cars under 1.5 million Philippine pesos. Maybe Ford did go over the top about surpassing expectations of those looking for an affordable pickup.